This is Michi Hoyer, this is ACR Zakspeed, and we are live for some testing for the SimRacing.Club Academy Race 2 around NOLA. So after last Saturday we have had our race in the faster class, so in the Nissan GTR. We're now, so to say, doomed to race in the lower class in the Nissan 370Z GT4. The race is tonight. I got a schedule down in the description already, so you guys can check that out and see what's coming up tonight. But the very same as last time as well, we're now about to do some testing. The race is coming up tonight. The simulation of use is rFactor 2, and the Joke Master has already asked the question what the track temperature is be like. So you have to say track temperature is dynamic here in rFactor 2. Can change throughout the session. We are using the live weather plugin, and with all that being said, I now have to see what the conditions are. It could also be raining, could also be just simply hot. Right now we got ambition and track temperature of 23 degrees. I'm in my iconic purple livery again, so that's great. And yeah, then we also happily got sent a set, which is good. Now we take the car out for the very first time and see how things go. Yeah, seat. Nog een stuk. A little more. That sounds about good. Headlights on or off, whatever. So the organizers have told us to also test the pit lanes. So yeah, here we go. Traction control engaged again. Since we're going for an endurance race, the car is a little bit rear happy as far as I can already feel it. And yeah, you want to have an easy to drive car that is somewhat quick, and I do not think that traction control gives you a disadvantage at all. So here we go. the car likes to slide a lot, so some will say it's very floaty, and I just can't agree with that. Very little turning on the wheel needed to make the car somewhat turn. Yes, others, I'm also doing that race tonight in the Sim Racing Academy endurance race. Track temperature is 23 degrees, Joke Master. That is a bit of a bitch, to be honest. So we're here at NOLA Motorsports Park. No. For that one race I just needed to do Indianapolis, but for the license I need to do the full race as well here at NOLA. But it's no biggie, you know. Testing is already much more successful than in the Nissan GTR around Indianapolis. So that's good news, definitely. I kind of forget what kind of pit entry needs to be used. Sadas, I think the Skippy is a good licensed D car. I could be wrong though. Need to take care on track limits. So the car is very floaty, I agree with that, absolutely. But it's fun to drive. I don't want to say it's easy to drive, because you can do a lot of things wrong, you know, if you turn the front wheels too much. The tire wear goes beyond real. You may not want to jump too much about that curb. Here you can lose the car pretty easily. Let's just have a look at both pit entries right now, just to go through it for once. Ah, see, that's the wrong one. So I have to take this here. And here's the line. Okay, so that is lessons learned already. I'm always getting confused about these pit entries here at NOLA. It's a common thing with me. I mean, those track or those pit entries are only about there to confuse you. So good job on them. So guys, there's a lot more coming up this weekend. We do have the iRacing 24-hour race coming up that afternoon. I will do some crew chiefing and streaming from that over the weekend. We also do have the Sim Racing Academy Club race, or the Sim Racing Club Academy race tonight here at NOLA. The stream of that starts 1945 German Central Summertime. And yeah, I would love to see some of you guys there, so mark that in your calendar if you got some spare time left tonight. Other than that, the stream for the 24-hour race at Le Mans, probably going live 14:30, 14:45, something in that range. and I'm going to cover the first 2.5 to 3 hours of that. Maybe also some further in the night, we will have to see. But right now we're going to see how the long run is gonna be on that 370Z. But before that, just gonna take another look at the pit entry, just to have it practiced. Yeah, that turn in here is a bitch, obviously. Let's see what it takes to change tires. That's all stuff you need to know for the race. Ah, too far back. Reverse. Oh, there we go. Tires 50%. Whoa! 50 seconds. Oh yeah. Can take a nap meanwhile. Whoop whoop. Come on, change some tires. So we want to make sure that the tires last all 90 minutes long. Let's see what we can do about that. Need to see lap times, need to see the number of percentage being gone off the tire. And then we can do some calculation how many laps we're gonna do. And let's see whether we need to adjust our driving or simply be fine. Better do not touch these curves at all. Probably braking a bit earlier for that isn't pain. Definitely the left tyres that's going to be killed. If you guys got any questions whatsoever, right now I'm in a good position to answer a lot of them, since I need to concentrate a bit, yeah, but the car overall itself is a lot easier to master than the Nissan GTR. got on here, so better take that first right-hander a lot slower. 500-meter board is just about right for that turn, and so you're learning the car track combination very well. I do NOLA a little bit from the GT3s, so that is something that is not allowed. I need to fix that, of course. So lap times around 1:45.
The lap was a 1:46.23.
Also the 500-meter board is about right here. Track limits. Better stay here in the inside line, that's good to know. So you see, we're already working on some details rather than on some basic things. Danielle, are you actually joking, or are you saying this seriously? Because right now I'm saying this seriously. It floats a bit, yes, it does. But it's fun to drive. I think it's really fun to drive. Just once again, you're not allowed to turn too much on the wheel, and I'm thinking about decreasing the steering lock to the minimum. See whether this is working or not working at all. That's a lot better exit. Yeah, I agree, Danielle. I absolutely agree.
45.45.
500, here we brake. Valid this time, and a lot quicker still. Look how much time you simply lose from going a little too wide away from that inside curb. So you really want to stay on the inside all the way. Seems like it's been the case for a lot of corners. Oh dear. Yeah, Danielle, I hear you. Well, to be honest, I've asked them whether I do not need to drive, because today's SimRacing.Club Academy race, sorry, clashes with a test match of my handball team. And so I tend the handball guys to only be available for the first half of the match. And then I'm gonna run, come back right here to do that second race. That was a good lap, even ditching into the 44s. Tyres looking good.
That was a 1:44.
Nothing really to mourn about there. Going a little too wide. Now let's have a look when we stay to the inside of that curb in the now upcoming turn 3. What kind of time we gonna gain? Well, nothing, because I got the corner wrong again. Need to really do late apexing there. Let's take a speed carrying it. Doesn't also work on the Delta. So here you see, that is how you need to drive them cars. Not hitting that curb also helps, I think. Despite I believe when you hit that curb right, the time you gain from cutting that corner just the slightest is sufficient enough to really support your lap time. Just a tenth slower, so we're already in that area where we can say, yeah, we're doing
That was a
lap times.
1:44.95.
Oops, yeah, that was too much. Okay, that doesn't not work. Danielle, actually they changed it last time because there was such a big run. I think they shortened the season to a 2-race season only. Stay a little bit more on the inside, come on. Yeah, we still gained a 10th though. I need to get that corner right, and then I can have a more better judged conclusion on that. Yep, Danielle, they changed it to 2 races for that season at least. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. So the curb is just about wide enough for the for letting the entire car jump. Probably the car jumps with a floor about on it, so doesn't really give you a point in riding it. Damn it. Still, that last sector can still be improved driving wise.
That was a
Let's get a
1:49.20.
44.5 in. Yeah. Maybe I was wrong with that turn 3 idea. I think that was a cut as well. Yeah, that doesn't help at all. Alright, we're going to box for another time. Change the steering lock and see whether we help the floatingness of the car a bit. Yeah, if that happens tonight, rip me. Engine off, wheel off, everything off. I'm not sure about that yet, Danielle. Actually, I am I'm planning to do an virtual endurance championship car together with teammates. So yeah, that's that. Perhaps the shorter gearing. What's the problem with the VEC calendar for you? Finally, you have to turn the wheel again. rotation just from throttle is amazing. I'm not too much of a fan of Long Beach, to be honest. Yeah, so I have to say that the VEC calendar suits my personal preparations a lot more. Calendar from the track point of view. Some people would call me weird to not to like Long Beach, but oh yeah. So with a lower steering lock, obviously I need to deal a little bit more with that. But I think it could be the better solution for the saving the front tires. Don't go too wide. And I also think that the shorter gearing is very much sufficient for that race. So you like Singapore a lot, I think, right? Nope, wrong approach. Ah, cut lap, interesting. So, lessons learned again, gonna box again. Because, to be honest, the lower steering lock didn't really give me that much of an advantage as I hoped it would do. And other than that, I really have to say it's the car is looking alright to me. Try hard, wet soft. Really? Oh dear. Yeah, Baku also. I believe. Yeah, I mean FSR has his race around Singapore tomorrow, which I'm gonna have to do a little more practice for. Why is the speed limit off again? Is that I'm developing that habit to somehow press the pit limiter. Anyway, so FSR having its race tomorrow around Singapore, and no joke, I do love Singapore. From the actual track, the actual floatiness of the track, that is a proper racetrack, you know? Like, say, if you put that track on a strip of grass and lengthen the straight before and after Anderson Bridge, so to have like more, like 2 or 3 straights and straights of kind between turn 5 and 6, that will be a fabulous racetrack to race on, no joke. Yeah, but the walls, I mean, it's alright, you know, walls need to be obeyed, but yeah, walls can make the things considerably difficult. we're going for another 10 lap stint or something, and then I should have gathered enough data for that race to become. And then I can also show you how I calculate on the strategy. I'm gonna use some very simple things. I should be able to put in a 44.5, if I'm honest. A valid one though, not a fake one. So track limits here in the SimRacing.Club are very strict. And I do like them, to be honest. Track is being defined with the 2 white lines at all times, so curb is not being considered part of the track. That is still valid. You need to have at least 2 tires in between the white lines at all time. Valid, 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 invalid, valid, stuff like that. So I do like this. That is invalid, that's an off track. So very strict about that. Atala Plata Engineering, thank you so much for joining. Good morning to you. Lovely chicane there. Oh, you can carry so much speed through that if you just get it right.
The lap was a 1:46.16.
Not sure what I did different all the other times there. So I'm losing 3/10 only till here. Yeah, but if you go through that chicane like this is definitely going to be a tire killer. No doubt about that. Not going to be enough for a 0.5, only about
That
just.
was a 1:44.61.
Still not perfect. Yeah, lost a bit of time through here. And fully outbroke myself for that. Well, that makes my delta completely gone. Yeah, now at the latest it's gone. Yeah, you need to get your things together.
That was a 1:44.68.
So bad. I think that was an invalid one. Anyway, trying to survive with a half a second gap. Could be worse. Here we go, coming around, a 0.1 is in prospect, which is good, 44 points.
That was a 1:44.14.
So you better swing that ass around that turn 1 curve, rather than hit them. Some sort of drift sliding seems the best opportunity. Same for that corner. I'm pushing that too much right here as the front's heat up. And now I missed those apexes. Doing it all wrong there. This final turn can be a killer.
That was a 1:44.59.
Right, other than some track limit problems, I'm pretty much good to go for tonight. But those problems will be fixed soon. When there's a little more grip on the track later on. So it's not going to be a biggie. Lovely through here. Gaining another time. Maybe I can put in a 43. Just to make sure to get a final sector done perfect. Simon Pitt, thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. Welcome to the gaggle. Turn in late. Yeah, that's about right. There we go. Another 10th gain. Will it be enough to the line though? Ooh, so close. Nope.
The lap was a
4,000 missing.
1:44.00.
Well, that was a good final sector. Missed turn 1. Damn. Anyway, just got 3-4 more laps to do. And because that lap is literally gone for good, I can configure the timer. No change, no change, no change. Oh damn, wrong button. Okay, that looks good. So, I'm going to do a 3 or 4 more laps, and then I'm gonna put on my Motec right here and have some calculations going on. And I think it's safe to say that you should calculate with a lap time of 1:45 when those lap times come in. Or better, say 1:44 to be on the safe side. When those lappers come in,
the lap was a 1:45.71.
Slow down quite a bit, or you are slowed down quite a bit. I'm once again sliding wide. No good. So maximum fuel capacity of the car is 100 liters. We are still around with 59.5. So we're gonna see about that very soon. I can then show you how quick you can get an easy strategy together for such a race. And that is considerably easy. But right now I just want to get this, I want to get a 43 in, really. A valid one, obviously. So here we go, going for another try. Maybe you need to slow down even more for that turn 1.
That was a 1:46.28.
We try braking a little earlier. That looks good. It's also been quicker on the delta. Shouldn't have hit that. Oh, shit, shit, shit. Probably in the race you want to stay off that curb, since it's simply too dangerous. I mean, the curbs are inviting to ride them though. They seem obviously not entirely flat, but they seem drivable. They seem big, like there is a big time gain possible on them.
That was a 1:47.70.
I'm not sure whether it's the tyres that are not in best condition anymore, or whether it's just me not driving very well at the minute. It's probably the later one. Right, I'm just gonna go for another lap and then a box in the next lap, because that will give me a good delta on the fuel to have some vast calculations going on. And then we're gonna have a little educational session in Motec. I do know that the tyres can be driven until they hit 0%,
That was a
so we're going to make use of that.
1:45.08.
I'm just not being able to put in those lap times again. So we're gonna box. No change, fuel, I can leave that because it will hit the 50 anyway, the 100, sorry. Crew's ready for box, so we're gonna have a look. Need to make sure to not flat spot these tyres on the way into the pits. So here we go. "15 seconds for fueling of 50 liters. So we're gonna note that down. 50 liters in, and we're ready to go again. Okay, so more 14.6 for a 49. Right, We're gonna save setups. And you heard the beep beep beep, and now you will see the frame rate dropping a little, and in between I'm gonna get up the requested or the required softwares. Bear with me for a second. Dropbox, engineering. Here we are. So the latest one, which is the biggest one. There we go. And now let me see. I need that. Let me just bear with me for a second, please. Right. I need this and I need the other one. Okay. So here we go. And I'm going to take away that wheel for a split second because now I need to do some calculation stuff. Or to say the least, I will put that up in an Excel real quick. So let me start that Excel in the background. Here we are. Fair enough. Now I can make this literally small. Okay, so how would you build up your strategy? First of all, we're gonna have a 90-minute race. So race is 90 minutes. That means 60 seconds multiplied with 90 minutes get you 5,400 seconds. An average lap time, as you can see right there, of probably, let's say, around 1 minute 45 is 160 seconds, and 1 times 60 seconds plus another 45 seconds makes it 105 seconds. If you divide that by that, you get 51.4 laps in, and because you can't just do in half laps, you need to say, alright, well, I make this professional now. You always have to round up on the next bigger thing. Sorry. Aufrunden. Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Aufrunden. That. Yep. From this on the number of 0 digits behind the comma is 52. So 52 laps. That is what we need. For 52 laps, now you can have average fuel consumption, which is you have to look at these right now. We're only going to consider timed laps, so I don't consider the first one because it's out of the box. And then 2.41, 2.42, 2.4, 2.41, 2.4. I skipped that 2.35 because I was configuring the pit window there, and we're gonna take use of the others. So that is 19.25. Obviously that's not right because I forgot to put in the brackets, and I'm gonna divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gives me an average fuel consumption of 2.4 liters. Fuel needed is that multiplied with that, because you need to do finish laps, 120 and a half, 25, and once again you do this rounding up because you cannot fuel half liters, so you need to have 126 liters. So next up, we're gonna split this in two. So that is what you need per stint. 63 liters per stint. Right, and then we remembered that we used 49 seconds for fueling, sorry, 14.6 seconds for fueling 49 liters, and it's just the other way around. It was right, what is that? So 49 liters being fueled in 40.6 seconds gives us an average of probably 3.5 liters to be fueled. Anyway, we're going to take this, seconds per liters. Right, that means what we're going to do now, I'm a stupid idiot. I just found out that I forgot to put in a number of, one lap after the pit stop. Anyway, we can do it still. Because what I need to do now is get towards the section times and see straight till end of turn 1. So we put a car into sections here, looking at the track map, track editor. So here is start and finish. Turn 12 is the last section to be looked at. Straight 1 and 01 is it's probably one sector that needs to be looked at as well. So we look at section times and see on a standard lap, you know, we will take an average 1:46, 45.7. That's about right. No, it isn't, because I swung around in. Anyway, we're going to take this one, 45.5, okay? So, turn 12, we need 9.742 seconds for turn 12, 7.785 for straight 01 till start finish line, and we needed another, where are we, 8.707 until to turn 1. So that is what we do an average lap when we're going around. Standardly we need 26.2 seconds for that area. So if we box though, and now we have to look, I expected that, the data is not on here. The in lap is not being counted. Right, simple as that, guys. We put that down, we go into the sim for another lap, and it's going to be very easy, because what we're going to do is we need 3 laps, nothing else. I'm not going to need the button. Oh shit, I would have needed the button box. So that is when you sometimes are not aware of what you do. And also it needs to be said that this strategy is being done obviously without covering the chance of code 80s. That is something that mixes up strategies a lot. So once that is something else, my pit window for code 80s opens as soon as I hit, let me quickly recalculate. You know, let's see, if I start with 100 liters, and that is probably what I should do anyway, because you won't change tires at all. So you simply go around, and I think the quickest possible way then is to fuel up the car and box for the minimum required amount of fuel, which is 25 liters. Plus minus, obviously. So my pit window opens as soon as I cross the finish line with the 73 liters remaining, because then I could put in another 23 to make it 100 again. So that is when my pit window opens for code 80s. If there's a code 80 in there and I'm near the pit box, go box. Simple as that. So I can already put that in here. This is a very, very simple way to put in strategy though. Because obviously that makes sense to a certain extent. On the other hand, you do not want to have a very heavy car throughout the entire race. But it's how I usually race in those IMSA races. And you know what, for the sake of it, I do not necessarily need to do what I just do. Because I'm planning to just refuel 25 liters. I'll make sure that the gap is enough to be that, to have that fueled in. So what I'm gonna do now is I go out, put a lap, put a timed lap, put an in lap, put an out lap. So 5 laps of driving again. I'm not gonna need my gloves for it because I'm not going for speed apart from that section here. Well, that is some simple calculation of how you can estimate pit stops, duration of it, stuff like that. And if you guys got any questions about the thing, what I was doing here, feel free to simply shoot them and ask them. But for once, I'm being able to give you a little of an insight in how I would build up a strategy around my race. You know, it's not like that the quick guys simply do laps. Decide for a setup and then go for it. All the quick guys are all doing the work in the background with the sheets, with the data, with Motec. They look where they can improve. They look where they are missing the marks. They look whether other drivers are doing something different somewhere, and then they're going for the best strategy possible. Alright, we go for one quick lap and we go for box. Thank you very much, Flan. Feel free to watch that tomorrow. That is when the next FSR race takes place. Oh, too quick. Too stupid. Yeah, it's not a good lap anyway, but as I said, we're only taking care about the final 2 bits. No change, no change, no change. Refueling another 25 liters in. West pit box.
That was a
44.3, no bad lap though.
1:44.36.
Crew's ready for box. That's good. Oh dear. Oh, usually that would be a lap I would need to finish, because that brings me into the 43s. But we're a little lighter, to be honest, than before. And it's no valid lap anyway. I'm just saying though. So here we go for box. Five liters in 9 seconds, okay. 9.4. And there's always a time about nozzle being put in and nozzle being put out, stuff like that. We're gonna come back onto the racetrack and we do another full lap so that the data gets taken. Otherwise the Motec file is not appropriate for use. But right now I definitely I go for another time lap because I want to see the impact of fuel on the lap time, because if that isn't playing a major role, we may need to rethink about what I'm planning to do. Or if I can go around now and put a lap time of a 44.3 again, something in that range, I should be very good to go with whatever I plan. And to be honest, the fuel effect is not that big on a GT car. Obviously it has some impact, but only a minor one. Not as severe as in a Formula car. So usually if you want to estimate your pit delta, you could stop after crossing the finish line at that point here. Since I told you what my plan is to evaluate what's in the fuel thing, going around for another time. To go that wide anyway. Well, there is some minor fuel effect, that's for sure. Could also be a tire effect, like temperatures not being in range already. Oh, that was a lovely left-hander. No! I miss out on the 43s. Just going for another lap for the sake of seeing whether there is an improvement possible.
144.10.
To estimate where the tyres are, the key factor here, temperature-wise. Because I think they're just heated up right now. Oh, I took a very bad line here. Nope. Alright, waiting for the beeps. There we are. And then we can go and just check with the other file, and you will see the difference straight away when I put in the other file. Flanagan, thank you so much for following me. Appreciate that a lot. Really glad you found me here. Alright, just waiting for the file to be processed. There we are. Looking for that file. Okay, fair enough. Close. Reopen. There we go. Okay, so here we are. Looking back to the sheets. So we've done our pit stop right here. And this is maybe the one thing we need to look at right now, because the lap times we do is, as I said, $52 laps as it seems, but we want to have a bigger look into it. So the in-lap, I think the in-lap counts towards it. I think it's just 51 laps. Anyway, we're gonna keep it simple like here. So we re-enter the sections, and the quick lap was 9.525, 12.078, sorry, 7.864 and 8.975. So 26.364 seconds needed for that area. However, if we box, it's 12.078 because of the pit entry, 35.03 because of the standing time, and 12.419 because of acceleration out of the zone. That means a pit lane or a pit stop exactly 55 seconds, just by chance I think. So here's what we lose on a pit stop, is 28.63 seconds. So that is our pit delta for our planned strategy. I'm just going to do another fuel stop calculation, because now we fueled 25 liters in 9.4 seconds. Yep, because of the nozzle time, I think the actual refueling process was 8.4. Yeah, probably we're talking about 3 liters per second being pumped in. Anyway, Um, that is how you can now build up your strategy. So when you're now going for box, you want to see 28.6 seconds. That is the gap you need in order to stay in front of other drivers. And yeah, with that being said, I definitely plan to fuel up the car entirely and see what the Dash Meter Pro tells me, like whether I'm needing 28 liters, 25 liters, 20 liters additionally to finish the race. And as soon as that's done, as soon as that calculation is done, I'm just waiting for the perfect window for code 80 to be thrown, and then I'm gonna box during the code 80 hopefully. This also depends on track position. But in a code 80, to box in a code 80 is probably the race winning thing. And yeah, we're then gonna see how things panned out. To be honest, if I'm in a code 80 where I'm not being able to pit, I'm just gonna stay out. Because I'm waiting for another code 80, and maybe I'm happy, otherwise I'm unhappy or unlucky that no other code 80 has been thrown. Anyway, chaps, that's it for the moment. I'm gonna prepare with the team for the 24 hours of iRacing now. 24 hours of Le Mans on iRacing, so that it was right. And yeah, then I'm gonna be out for 2 or 3 hours for handball before I reschedule the stream for tonight's race in the SimRacing.Club Academy. I would love so much if you guys come up there and support me during that race. Would really appreciate that. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a nice weekend all together, and I hope you really enjoyed what we did here. It was a little special thing with the Motec being put up, and some race strategy talks were done. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for being here. See you later there. Goodbye.